Hey everyone, welcome back to the Drama Drop, and I'm going to need you to listen to me very carefully. Before you do anything at all, please be sure to subscribe to the Drama Drop on all streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple, and YouTube, and go follow me on Insta and TikTok at the.drama.drop. For today, I've got a super fun guest, Jenna Barclay. If you've ever been scrolling TikTok and ended up deep in nostalgic spiral about the 90s or early 2000s with butterfly clips, aim away messages, all of it, you've probably seen her videos. Jenna's built this awesome corner of the internet that feels like a time capsule and a comedy show rolled all into one. And we're going to be talking about how she got her start, millennial culture, fashion, and even touch on the latest reality TV drama flooding all of our timelines. So be sure to follow her on Insta and TikTok. It's at Jenna Barclay, Jennaa. Be sure you get those double A's. And subscribe to her podcast, Talks in Class. It's on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. Now, let's get into it.
Hey friends, this is the Drama Drop, because somebody has to talk about it.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Drama Drop. I am super excited. With me today, I have Jenna Barclay. She is our nostalgia millennial queen, like the mother of millennial, if you will. She's so fun. I'm so excited to talk to you today. And before we get started, I do want you to appreciate my efforts. I wore a Spice Girl shirt in your honor.
Really appreciate that. And now
Thank
I feel
you.
like I should have worn, like I have so many fun shirts. I should have worn one.
No, but your background is perfect, though. Like,
Thank you.
I feel like I just stepped into my childhood bedroom. I love that so much.
That was the goal when I created this room. I actually have a lot of stuff in here from my childhood bedroom. So I come in here and like play with my old toys. We call it the playroom.
Oh, stop. I love that so much. That was definitely something that I wanted to ask was the things that you have, the things that you own, use for your props and everything. Is that yours, or did you have to go to lengths, thrift, all that?
Yeah, it's a mix. I will say that I probably have a lot more of my old stuff than a normal person. I'm an only child and my mom still lives in my childhood home, like the home I lived in my whole life.
That's awesome.
And, you know, she like lives by herself. It's a small town. She's got lots of space. So she never has felt the need to like do a big purge. So a lot of my stuff is still like boxed up in storage in the garage. So a lot of it, like especially just random kind of accessory things. Like I have a cordless phone behind me. It's like one of those clear VTech. Remember they were like all different colors?
Yes.
That's mine. I had it in my bedroom in like 6th grade. So weird things like that. But then a lot of the stuff I have thrifted over the years because, you know, obviously I didn't keep everything. So it's a good mix. There's a good mix.
No, I love that. I do have more questions about that. But first, I do want to ask you, okay, so you just had a birthday.
Did.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
What did you do? I'm dying to know if you did anything crazy or if you're like, I need to chill.
No,
I'm at that point where birthdays are chill.
100%. I had a very late 30s birthday, although we did do something. I mean, we did something fun. It just wasn't crazy by any means. I live in LA, so we did a staycation and I wanted to go somewhere, but I didn't want to like actually have to travel, you know, traffic and the airports and everything. So we just like got a hotel in a slightly different neighborhood than where we actually live. And we went to dinner and we hung out and it felt like we were on vacation. But then in the morning, we just packed up the car, drove like 30 minutes and we were home. So it was fun.
No,
it was like perfect.
That's perfect. That's the ideal type of celebration, in my opinion. Okay, so you have all of your stuff. Well, not all of it, like you said, but a nice capsule. So take me back to how you even started. Because I mean, the content that you create is amazing. But how did this even come about is what I need to know. Because it's genius. It's honestly genius.
Thank you. I wish I could take more credit for it because it really was an accident. And I always say this and people are like, but, you know, I don't know. I feel like it's obviously there are people who like set out to be content creators, but there are so many people that I've met through this journey who had a similar experience to mine where we just like started doing it and it took off and we had no idea that it was going to happen or like how that happened or what that meant. So, like I said, I have a bunch of my old stuff. My old bedroom at my mom's house is truly a time capsule. It has a daybed in it. It has like leopard print sheets on the daybed that I picked out in probably 2007. I mean, it's a time capsule.
That's so fun.
I went back to visit my mom. It was after COVID, so I hadn't been home in probably like a year and a half. Yeah. And I was just kind of digging through my room because when I would go visit, a lot of the time I wouldn't pack things like pajamas. I'm like, well, I have tons of stuff there. But by this point, I was like in my 30s. So I'm like digging through my old dresser at my mom's house, pulling out these like t-shirts from homecoming in college and things like that. I'm like, what is in here? And I found on that day the perfect outfit. Okay. It was a Hollister bedazzled mini skirt, like distressed with the rhinestones on the back, a white lace trim cami, and then my Tiffany like heart silver necklace was in a little box on my dresser. And I was like, okay, I need to do something with this. And this was what, 2021. So like the Y2K fashion had started to sort of become popular amongst younger people. And I was like so many millennials watching in somewhat of horror, like, are they troll? Is this a joke? So I put the outfit on. I made a little video. I didn't end up doing anything with it. I just put it on my Instagram story with like a Chingy song. And then for whatever reason, a few months later, I put it on TikTok. Didn't even know how to use TikTok at the time. And it got like over 1 million views in a few hours. I didn't even know how to use TikTok. And I was like, oh, well, if people want to see this, I have a room full of it. So I just
that is amazing. Wait, that is so, see, it's so interesting to me. Like you said, it's like an accident. And I feel, like you said, there are people that definitely have the intention to blow up on TikTok or whatever. But I really feel like COVID was that time where all the accidental, it kind of just happened because everybody was so bored and I guess maybe just having like a creative outlet and there was like the time to do so. So it's so interesting that it's just, you were like, I'm just tossing this out on there and it just blew up. I mean, I love it. And I'm sure you were like in that moment, I'm so glad I have all these things that I can use, which is crazy.
Obviously the young people on TikTok really liked it because they were like, just starting to get really interested in the Y2K fashion, but they hadn't seen at that point a lot of authentic version. I can't believe I'm saying that. I'm so old, but do you know what I mean? They were like, oh, this is real Y2K fashion. But the thing that really made me excited was seeing the joy that it brought to people my age when they would recognize it and say, oh, I have the same outfit, or, you know, I shoot stuff in my room at my mom's house and they'll be like, oh my God, the daybed, I had a daybed. Just seriously. It just brings people so much joy to see these things. And it's crazy because it does connect us and you realize that we were living in such similar ways, even without social media. It's cool. That part's really
I feel like it definitely brings people together. It's weird because it's one of those things too. It's like, oh, we really are all kind of the same. You know, it's like we've all lived this similar life that we didn't really know. And it's also, I don't know, I just appreciate it too because it is so nostalgic and it just takes you back to a time that you never realized, oh, we were going to miss this time.
Yes.
You know, which is so weird to think about. It's like you never really knew the moment, like the last time you were, I mean, now obviously, you know, Abercrombie and Hollister, they're back. I mean, they never really went away, but you know, they've reinvented the wheel, but you never realized, oh, the last time you step into an Abercrombie to get like 10 different layers of camis that you can wear, you know, it's just, it's so, or like the last time you use your CD player and all that. It's so bizarre. It's like, I don't know, but it is. And then it just reminds you of things. You're like, oh yeah, that was a thing. That was a snack in the 90s. We did do that. Like, it's so, I don't know. It's just really, it's like cozy. It's just very comforting. And it's just, it makes me a little bit sad because it's like, oh, we'll never get, like you said, that authentic part of it. It's like, yeah, we can recreate it as much, but it's like, oh, it's so sad that it's not there. Like still. Okay. So it's crazy too, because have you ever thought about, okay, this is just like all these things that you have like still till this day. I mean, I don't know about right now, but like how much they would be worth. And like, like this is great that you've kept it, because I think about this all the time. Like I am very much like, I love vintagey things. You know, I love vintage t-shirts, worn in sweatshirts, like jeans and stuff like that. But it's funny because I'm kind of going through a moment of cleaning out my closet. But when I'm looking at things, I'm like, okay, am I going to want this in 20 years? You know? So it's like that struggle of, will I want, or like a bag, you know, a purse, something. So it's like one of those things where I'm like, do I want to get rid of it? Like, will I want it in 20 years, or will it be really worth a lot? You know, it's like, I feel like we've just
it's so
loved
hard
the
to
90s,
know,
early
too.
2000s. Say that again?
It's so hard to know too. And I think
exactly.
This has become my curse with this whole thing, because I live in LA. Before this, I lived in New York. Like I've never had space. So I have learned to be kind of a purger just by necessity. Like I can't keep a lot of stuff. So now I have this struggle where it's not just what you're talking about. Like, am I going to personally want this in 20 years, or is it going to be worth it, worth something? But now it's also like, well, should I get rid of that tie-dye sweatsuit from COVID, or am I going to want to make 2020 nostalgia videos in a couple years?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So your like, mind shift.
It's
so different.
Really a problem. It's really a problem. So I've come up, for anybody who is in this boat, I have sort of a framework that I actually approach this with. And it's really just about the value of the item. Like, obviously now there's stuff like vintage Forever 21 and Charlotte Russe. So this doesn't always work. But for me, when I'm looking at an item and I'm like, should I keep this, or will I want this in the future? If it's something that was cheap, I will get rid of it, because most likely I can thrift that later if I want it, or something very similar. So like, you know, now I'm in the point where we've reached like late 2010s nostalgia, and I got rid of a lot of those clothes. I have a couple of things from like 2016, but 2017, 2018, 2019, I don't have that stuff anymore. Yeah. But I can go find that pretty cheap. So that stuff I purge. But like, I have all my Coach bags from high school out of sheer laziness, but now I'm glad I kept those. And if I had any designer bags now, which I don't really, I would keep those, but I would get rid of the ones from, you know, Target or whatever.
Right. No, it's so, and it's funny that you specifically say Coach, because Coach vintage bags are just coming back. Like I am just seeing it resurface so much. And I'm like, wait, that's so cute. And I'm so mad at myself because I got rid of it. And it's like, again, you just never really thought that that was going to be a thing. But that's so funny that you say like your mind shift is more of like, oh, will that be content for the future that I would need? No, that's genius. I guess you would have to think of that. Yeah, I guess like how do you navigate, because it's very obvious like you have a niche, you know, it's very much millennial, late 90s, early 2000s. So how do you have to adjust your content as like trends are shifting? Like how do you navigate trying to make sure that it doesn't go, you know, stagnant?
Yeah, it's hard because every year I have a conversation with somebody somewhere that's like, you know, nostalgia's got to be going out. Like we have to be getting burnt out on it, sick of it. I think the more stressful our lives become, the more we want nostalgia. Yeah. And that can be both on a macro level, like the world, but also just on a personal level. And I think just our age group, it is kind of inherently a stressful time to be in your 30s and 40s. This is when most people have young children or growing families, or, you know, are making big career moves, are making maybe physical moves, different homes, different states, aging parents. Like all of these things kind of really come to a head in your 30s and 40s. So I think there's always going to be some appetite for it from people our own age, because like you said, it's comforting. But it is interesting because I live in this like content bubble where there's all these other trends happening on social media, and sometimes I am completely even unaware of them. I don't even know they're happening because I just create like such a specific type of content. And that's nice. I appreciate that. So I don't feel like I'm chasing the next social media trend.
No, for sure.
But it is hard because, you know, on the other side of it, I do sometimes feel like there's only so many things I can talk about. There are only so many outfits I could recreate or put together. I guess with the more time that passes by, like I could recreate outfits from, I mean, 2020 was 6 years ago now, which is crazy.
I know.
So, you know, there's other stuff that will always come up, but yeah, sometimes I get into ruts but I think everybody does, I'm sure.
Oh, for sure. And I think it's important too, because I mean, obviously, if you're wanting to like shift your content, you have that free will to do so. But I think it's great that you try to be sure it's like, okay, I know what I brought my audience into and what everybody loves and has stayed for. And so you're being authentic to that, because I mean, yeah, like there's so many times I've had content creators that I am very comforted by. So it's like, oh, like what are they doing? And then it's like all of a sudden, and more power to them. Like they totally can shift the nature of their content, but it's like, ah, dang it. Like that's not what I like started following and loving you for. So it gets really sad. So I think that is very important. And like you said, time will always keep going. So it's like things will constantly be nostalgic, it's very bizarre. And it's funny. I don't know if you've ever done this, but the TikTok sound, it's like the kids laughing in the background almost. It's like a faint, it's like it sounds like it's at school. I don't even know how to describe it.
This is what I mean when I feel like social media stuff. Sometimes I have no idea.
Yeah, no, I'm sure if you heard it, you'd probably recognize. It sounds like it's like a faint, distant kids playing on the playground, and they're like having a good time. And I will go under that sound and I'll just scroll through those TikToks because it's like, remember the last time you did, and it's like the Scholastic Book Fair, the smell of crayons, like just all those things. But it's
I do
so
that
good.
with the sound, that like, I'm going to sound like such an idiot, but the sound that's like, do, 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 do. It's like this, I don't know. You would, it's the same thing. You would know.
Yeah, I probably would.
A nostalgic kind of like music sound. They use it for like liminal space videos sometimes too. But I scroll through that sound sometimes and it's like, a picture of like a schoolyard and then like a front lawn with like a swing set and like that kind of stuff.
Take me back. Like a bike, some chalk, just literally anything. It's just, I mean, it is a lot. I mean, so what would you say like you miss the most about your childhood, early teens, like whatever, like what is something that you're just like, if I could just stay in that moment of time, that's what I would want.
It's so interesting because like I think people have this perception that I like live in the past or like that I really miss the past or like would want to go back to it, and I really don't. Like I have no desire. If I had a time machine and they were like, you could go back to 2004, I would politely decline. I don't need to re-experience it. I think that there are things that there are like aspects that I miss, of course. I think I miss the 90s more than anything, even though I was like barely alive in the I mean, I was alive, but I was born in 87. So I was a child. Right. And it's hard to decipher if I miss that because of the time period or I miss it because I was a kid. And by virtue of being a kid, I did not have stress in my life the way that or awareness of things in my life the way that I do as an adult. But like just the offline society and the way that we felt more connected in person. I really do genuinely miss that. I miss community things being more important. Now I feel like there's so many different ways that you can have community. Like we are talking right now, but in the past we would have had to physically been in the same room or on the phone, right? Yeah. Like stuff like that I actually really miss. And like monoculture stuff I miss. Like I miss that everybody had to, if you wanted to watch Dawson's Creek, you had to be butt on couch at 7 p.m. on Wednesday night with your TV tuned to the WB, or you had to tape it on a VHS. I feel like things just had higher stakes back then. We had to like work a little bit harder for things, and it made us appreciate things more.
No, I totally agree.
So there are aspects, but then, hindsight's rose-colored glasses and all that. So then there's other things that I'm like, well, there are other things I really don't miss about those times. But, that's how everything is.
That's funny that you bring up like the Dawson's Creek, like having to actually be tuned in at the time to watch it. That reminds me. So which I want to know what shows you were obsessed with. But growing up, I was obsessed with Full House, like wholeheartedly. And I will never forget because, you know, I knew the times that they were airing like the back of my hand. So obviously by the time I'm watching it, it's very much reruns. So like, but they had, it was a marathon one weekend and I told my friends, I told my grandparents, like, I can't do anything. Like, I have to, because otherwise I'm going to miss it. And that is just not acceptable. I can't miss it. Are you kidding? There was going to be no other opportunity. Like, who knows when there was going to be another marathon. But yeah, I mean, the thrill. Yeah. And then I guess, I don't know, I'm sure you've seen like those tweets where it's like, kids today will never understand having to like hurry, rush to the bathroom and get a snack before the show comes back on.
And like the horror of coming back to the show after it already restarted because you don't know how much you missed. Did you miss 5 seconds or did you miss an important line of dialogue that could alter the story?
You have no idea. Like, oh my gosh. And there was just so much pressure and the adrenaline. It's like you had to make sure that you had everything set up. And then, yeah, don't even get me started on taping things and then being sure that if you didn't tape over it or if it didn't start, like I think I had this one Disney Channel movie. It like started like 20 minutes late because I was like, oh no, I have to get this. I have to, but I was already 20 minutes late. So it's like 20 minutes of it, I don't think I've still to this day ever seen.
And that's the thing, like if you had something on tape, whether it was something you taped off TV or you had like a actual, you know, VHS copy of a movie, if there was something unique about that, like that will be forever burned into your brain. Like you probably now when you think of that movie, think it starts at that moment.
Exactly.
Just like there are movies that I take off of TV and they had commercial breaks in them. So now I just know if I were to watch that movie without the commercial breaks, I would be anticipating those commercial breaks at those times. You know what I mean? It's like,
exactly.
We watched the same stuff over and over. We didn't have Netflix full of thousands of options either.
Yeah, thousands of options. And then just being like, all right, you want the next one? You want the next one? Right. It was like, at least I remember specifically, I think it was like 7 and 7:30 at night. I had those 2 Full House episodes and I couldn't just move on. I had to wait till the next day for the next one. And I'm always pretty sure like the times, like they just moved it by 1 episode. So whatever they showed at 7:30 was then going to be the 7. And then like the next episode was at 7. Like they just moved it up. So it was like, I just had to wait for that one every single day. But what were like your go-to shows where you were like, this is the show that I need to make sure that I watch?
I mean, I had some like rerunny ones like Full House. I also loved Full House. I loved Saved by the Bell when I was a kid. And again, by the time I was watching it, it was reruns. But I loved it. I remember it was on after school when I would come home. And I especially loved the college years because I loved like the girls' outfits. They were so cool. I was not old enough to dress cool. But when I got a little older, Dawson's Creek was the first show I think that I was like really, really hooked on. And I was far too young, by the way, to watch Dawson's Creek. I think I was 9 when it started. Oh gosh. Or no, that's not right. It started in 1998. So I was 11. Which is not much better.
Right.
But I was obsessed with it. I would tape it every week. I still have some of the tapes with commercials and everything, which is
so
amazing.
Fun.
I loved The Real World. That was like my entrance into reality TV.
Which we definitely will get into.
Again, probably when I was like too young to be watching. Because I was definitely watching
for sure.
Like the New Orleans season. That was the year 2000. So I was like in 8th grade. I don't know. I always loved shows for more of like the vibe and the setting.
Yeah.
More so than like the actual storyline. Like that's why I loved Laguna Beach and The Hills.
Oh yeah.
But
so good.
Yeah, you know what I also really liked as a kid? I loved Nick at Night. I was like a big Nickelodeon kid. So I would watch like Secret World of Alex Mack and all of the like Nickelodeon cartoons.
So
but
fun.
I loved Nick at Night. I just thought those old shows were so fun for some reason.
So
like,
fun.
I loved Munsters. I loved the Brady Bunch. I don't know.
Nick at Night was really good. That was really good. Yeah, then I think that's actually where I started watching Full House, because I know it was on like a couple different.
Oh yeah,
it was on ABC Family too. It was like the nighttime. It was at Nick at Night, and then I think it was like Saturday mornings or something. It would be on ABC Family. I don't know, but yeah, Nick at Night. Like they really, I felt like kept up with like the 90s shows. It's like making sure that people. I guess Full House is a little bit 80s too, but really making sure like, all right, our youth, they need these shows. We got to be sure that we keep
And
that on the
my
television.
parents loved the really old ones too that they would show, you know, like the original Brady Bunch and like, I don't know, I Live Lucy and like the shows from
so
like
good.
the 50s, 60s, 70s. My mom would watch them and be like, oh, I remember seeing this when I was a kid.
Oh
So
my gosh.
they should do something like that. Well, there's no TV anymore. Never mind. We could just stream it.
Exactly. But oh man, no, I totally just, I miss that, like that Friday night. And then it's like you had the Friday night lineup.
Well, like TGIF.
Oh my
Wasn't Full
gosh,
House
that was
on TGIF
good.
when I was really, really young?
Probably. I feel like they had a rotation and then pair that up with going to Blockbuster.
Yes.
I mean, that you can't even, oh, it's so good. It's so good. I just see, and to your point, it's like those certain things I miss, but then if we're to take away all the inconvenience, I'd probably be like, are you kidding me? To watch this movie, I have to go to Blockbuster. I have to go like scale and like hope no one's rented it.
Exactly.
You're at the mercy of someone else renting it.
It's kind of crazy to think about now.
Yeah.
But we didn't know any different, so it was fine then. But it would be hard to go back.
For sure. But you have, okay, so you have like a group of women that do other millennial content. Call yourselves MillennialTok. Is that like the official? Like, I love that.
I think it's the unofficial.
Unofficial. Yeah, no, I think that's genius, first of all. And you guys like had a huge trip. What was it? A couple months ago? Last month?
Yeah. It's March. Yeah, it was about a month ago. A little over a month ago.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that seriously, it looked so much fun and also genius. Like,
it was so fun.
Okay, I need to know what all went into it. Like, how was the prep? Because there was what? I'm trying to think. Like 7, 8
11 of us.
11? Oh my gosh. Did it take a lot of planning? Was it very much just like, hey guys, we should do this? Or
yeah, it did take a lot of planning. I looked back at our group text and the first message went out last April and then the trip actually happened in February. So almost a year. So there were 11 of us on the trip and it could have been so much bigger, but honestly, so Chelsea Firth and I are the ones who kind of planned it. And we have been talking about this since 2023, I want to say, or 2020. We've been talking about this for so long. And then we finally were like, we should just throw it out to the group and see like if anybody wants to do it. But we didn't really think a lot of people would want to do it because it wasn't like a work trip. A brand was not paying for it. Okay. We had to pay for all of it. We had to plan it. People have lives and families and stuff. So, we don't really know a lot of these people. So we're like, nobody's going to want to like go on vacation with some strangers, but everybody was into it. So I don't think it would have taken as long to plan had we known that, but it's good that we gave ourselves so much time because we wanted to try to align with as many people's schedules as, you know how it's like to try to make plans in your 30s. It's like, it's so hard.
Yeah. Just trying to figure out dinner with somebody.
Exactly.
Like, it's a whole 2-3 month affair for sure.
Yes. So we kind of just like did it all on group chat. We sent out a lot of like Google Forms surveys and stuff throughout the thing too, just to try to get everybody's consensus. But it wasn't easy because just by how many people there were, but considering how many people there were, it was actually very easy. Everybody was so on board. Yeah. Everybody was kind of pitching in, throwing out ideas of, when we should do it, where we all kind of found different Airbnbs and sent them out. And we kind of just went by a vote on everything, but everybody was pretty much in agreement on stuff. It was just kind of like, is there anybody who can't go on this date? Okay, everybody cool with this date? Yes, no, good, move forward. So it came together probably a lot easier than people would imagine. Yeah. So we're already kind of thinking about the next one. We want to do it again.
Yeah, you guys have to do like an annual one. Like now you have to keep it up.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure that people were just like, oh my gosh, yes. Because I'm sure like maybe not everybody has their own type of following. I'm sure there's probably some crossover and stuff like that. But I'm sure it probably brought a lot of like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know there was all these other content creators that do the similar things. So it's like now you guys definitely have to keep that up. And keep the people like, they're probably like, oh my gosh, this was so great.
Yeah.
When you guys were out in public, did you get a lot of stares? I need to know.
Okay, so we went out in costume twice. The first night we went in full like drag. We were
like goatee and everything.
Yes, the theme. Okay, well, the official theme was your childhood crush. I just want to make it clear to anybody who saw my costume, that was not my childhood crush. I just got carried away with the outfit. But we went as like 90s or 2000s guys.
Yeah.
I think we were pretty unrecognizable, but a lot of us do play these characters in our skits. So we went to like a nice restaurant, and not like a fancy one, but we weren't at like, Applebee's. We were at a cute little restaurant, and there was this table of women, and they recognized Nicole Dent. And she looked so funny. She literally had like fake braces on. She had like this big Tommy jacket, a backwards visor. So they recognized her. And then we went out to a karaoke bar. And I mean, if anybody did recognize us, they didn't say anything, but there were a lot of like bros there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we had so much fun. People were like really into it. People were like enthusiastic about the costumes, whether they knew we were doing or not. But the second night we went in our homecoming outfits. So we did like 2000s homecoming. So fun. And it was good because we have a good range of ages within the millennial generation. So we had Chrissy, who was representing more of like the late 90s homecoming look, elder millennial, and then all the way to the youngest millennial who would have gone to homecoming in like, I don't know, 2012. I was a full grown adult. So all these different outfits, but we went to this club and we had like a booth, and it was blocked off a little bit, but we were still kind of in the main area. There was a bachelorette party there, and they came into the booth, and the girl, I don't know if she was the bride. She didn't realize who like we were at first.
Right.
But then all of a sudden it like hit her, and she didn't know what was going on. She was like looking around, and I was at the bar when this first happened, but I came back and she was like dazed. But a couple of girls said that she was like pointing at them. She was like, "Oh my God, wait, I know who you are." And she was shocked because I guess she didn't recognize immediately with our costumes. But yeah, it was fun. I mean, everybody was so cool. You encounter a big group of women who are dressed up in ridiculous costumes.
Right.
You are either going to be really into that or really not into that. And thankfully, most people were on board and they were laughing with us and having fun. So it was
that's so good. Yeah, no, I think that's amazing. And it's seriously so fun. So we can definitely say that Millennial Talk will survive this.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
That's good to hear, because there's been too much going on.
Girl.
Way too much. Well, okay. So let's transition a little bit, because obviously you love reality TV.
I do.
I love reality TV. Okay. So I do have to say, I have to make this announcement. I've never really watched Summer House.
Okay. You have to watch it.
At this point now, I really feel like I have no choice. I will say I tried dabbling so one of my problems is, once so many seasons has gone, like if I don't start from the beginning with like at least reality, like it's so hard for me to, and everybody is like, no, just start from season 1. Like, and I started the first couple episodes, and like, not that it was bad, but like when I'm knowing that there's like so many other seasons, it's so hard for me to stay on track. And then I was like, you know what, forget it. Like I pretty much at least know what's going, like I know like the storylines of people. So I was like, I'll just start on, I think it was last season. I tried watching it. Again, I didn't have any issue with it, but then I guess I was like, I started so late. I didn't have all those connections with the people.
I think in
hard for me to keep up with it.
It's hard. I totally, especially with reality shows on Bravo, they change cast members so much.
Right. Yeah.
So it's hard because you're like, who is that? But I think with Summer House, part of what has made it so enjoyable to watch is that we have seen, it's kind of like Vanderpump Rules. Like we have seen these characters, some of them grow so much. Some of them have not really changed at all, but we've seen some of them grow so much. So I do think you can skip the very early seasons, like the Workist Twins seasons.
Yeah.
I don't know when Paige comes in, But probably around then, I would start there because I think you do have to see like old Carl. You have to see Lindsay through the years. I think the Paige Hannah seasons also provide a good foundation for like the drama that's going on now because it goes so deep. Like there's drama with Hannah and Amanda. Like it's a whole thing.
Yeah. And so it's funny that you say that because I'm a huge Giggly Squad fan. Like I love Paige and Hannah, but what's funny about that, it's like I kind of discovered them organically. Well, I wouldn't say too organically because I think they were on an episode of Call Her Daddy, and it was kind of after all the drama with Hannah like leaving the show, and I think it was kind of Alex giving them the opportunity of like, all right, let's clear the air type of thing. And then they started their podcast, so I was like, oh, I'll just like listen. So like I had no lore of Hannah. So I love their dynamic. Like I think they're both hilarious. And it's so funny because all my summer house friends are like, can't stand Hannah. I don't know. She's so evil and all of this and that. But I love Paige, and I feel like the most everybody's at like on the same page of no pun intended, that they all love Paige. And so I'm like, okay, everybody like is like Queen Paige. If she loves Hannah, if she thinks Hannah's great, Hannah must be great too. Like, power of editing.
Yes, I do think Hannah got a really bad edit. Not to like, well, it's not really a spoiler at this point, but that is my stance on Hannah. I do think she got a bad edit on the show.
Okay, see, yeah, and that's kind of what I've been thinking, just the way that they've been talking. And now, and again, I'm just kind of trying to connect the dots just based on the podcasts that I listen to. They're kind of so I'm kind of like tuning in, tuning out, and then I have two of my best friends, like they're on their knees begging me to watch Summer House. I'm like, they're talking about it, and I'm like,
I love
so it's
Friends
like a too. So I kind of figured, I was like, okay, this must be like the Kyle show. So he has something to do with it. But right before, and I'll back up just a little bit more. I don't have the full like emotional connection with it because I didn't watch it, but I do know of the like it being catastrophic, this whole West, Kyle, Sierra, Amanda thing. And literally like before we got on this call, Amanda finally spoke out and she posted something. So I'm just going to read it in case any of these listeners haven't heard. I'm sure they will, but I'll just go ahead and read it. So she made a post finally. I know everybody was like craving for it. She said, "We've seen the growing online speculation. So while this is still very new, we wanted to provide some clarity. It was never our intention to purposely hide anything. Given the complicated relationship dynamics involved and in the scrutiny that comes with being on a reality show, we needed a little space to process things privately before speaking on it. We've shown up for each other as friends over the years through all the highs and the lows, and what's developed recently was the last thing either of us expected. Our connection grew out of a genuine, long-standing friendship, which made it especially important for us to approach this with care. As our feelings evolved, we wanted to take time to understand exactly what we were feeling. We also recognize this has had an impact beyond just us and never wanted our actions to cause any hurt or be perceived as careless. We truly appreciate the understanding and respect as we navigate this." Now, I just need to know, what are your thoughts on that?
That's even so bad, isn't it? I mean, look, I'm glad they made a statement because at this point it was getting to the point where I think people were like on the verge of turning on it and being like, if we don't get answers, we don't care anymore, which is obviously, if you have any hope of spinning this, not what you want. But I think if there's one thing that we have realized through all of the scandals that we've seen is that the public hates a vague statement.
Yes.
What are you even saying?
Yes.
Like, you didn't say what the relationship is. You alluded to a relationship, but are they going to turn around and be like, no, we're not dating. It's nothing serious. We're just having fun. I'm getting divorced. We're
Yeah.
It's not enough. But also, when you read it, because I read it obviously before on Instagram, but when you read it back, the part about we were never intentionally trying to hide anything, but then in the next paragraph saying like the scrutiny that comes with being on a reality TV show and we didn't want to appear careless, those are conflicting things because were you not trying to hide it or were you not trying to appear careless because you know that you're scrutinized? Because if you're making out in public, you know you're on a reality TV show. If you haven't had this conversation with Sierra,
Yeah.
you are being careless. So it's not a good statement. I would love to know what publicist wrote that. You know,
Oh my gosh. I know. And I am hoping and praying because like I'm just so curious. I want to know. I don't know why. Like my mind just I want to know what Paige's thoughts are because
everybody's saying that. It's so funny.
I wonder too because I've seen something. I don't know if it's like true, but it's like everybody's publicist on for them is telling them not to say anything. I don't know if it's different for Paige because now she's no longer on Summer House, but I'll be curious because obviously, you know, these are all of her friends, and I know Hannah, Amanda, and Paige had like a weird. It's like she's friends with both, but Amanda and Hannah aren't friends. But I'm just so curious because I was seeing things like Dumois posting that like, all right, you know, Amanda's been posting all these things, and so has Sierra, and Paige is only liking Sierra. You know, it's like there's these little Easter eggs, and it's like you're not coming straight out and saying something, but it's like everything else is there. So it's either be 10 toes down and be like, yes, this is it, or I guess still leave everybody hanging. But like you said, it's like everybody, it's like you got to say something at this point, but you pretty much just said and nothing like, this is not our intention. We didn't want to be careless, but we know all eyes are on us. But yet we're parading around and like making out. And I think there was something else. It was like showed a picture where she was wearing his sweatshirt that he like just so many things. And it's so crazy to me. And I truly want to understand and know what was going on in Amanda's head. It's like, okay, yeah, you're getting a divorce, whatever, but like take the Kyle out of the equation. Sierra is like one of your best friends. Like, why would you do that?
Watched the behavior from West.
Right. I'm just so confused.
I almost guarantee that Amanda, so obviously Amanda, we've seen, I think with Amanda, it's kind of sad because we've seen her in this horror. I mean, you haven't, you've been spared,
yeah,
but
tell me.
The rest of us have seen this relationship that she's been in with Kyle for the last 10 years or whatever they've been on our screens. He was pretty awful to her. You can tell she's really insecure. She was like kind of really beaten down, like emotionally. You know, she's talked openly about how she has dealt with depression, all of these things. And now it's like she was freed from the cage and she's going crazy, which to a certain extent I get, but to then decide to go crazy with West.
Yeah.
Like one, your friend Sierra, that's to me kind of unfair. Like if I'm Sierra, we're done. Like we are absolutely never.
There's no question.
Again. But also, like even if Sierra didn't care, it's just poor judgment. Like she's repeating the same pattern. Wes is like Kyle 2.0. I mean, he's gotten a better edit and people like him for other reasons, you know, like his personality and stuff. But like in terms of how he treats relationships, it's not going to go well.
And he's a lot younger than Kyle, right?
Yes, which Amanda's also much younger than Kyle. Kyle is an old man, okay? He's like weird, 43 years old.
Okay.
I mean, I'm 39, so that's not derogatory. Just
no, not at all.
10 years
but
younger
just
than him or something. 9
compared to how he acts, he shouldn't be.
Like a newly started DJ.
Oh God.
But what I lost track of my train of thought, but what I was going to say is I almost guarantee that Amanda's going to come out and try to minimize this, or Amanda's camp is going to try to minimize this and say something along the lines of like, you know, we're just having fun. This is just a fun time.
Right.
Like I'm getting divorced and like I need this. And I think that's probably how they're going to try to spin it, which again, I would buy that if it were anybody but West. Like, even if you're hooking up with Jesse Solomon.
That's what I was hearing people say too. It's like, okay, Jesse, or I don't know who this guy is, so forgive me. I'm just like, don't really know much. But they were talking about some guy, Ben.
Yes, he's
like
cast member.
Some guy, Ben, like blah, 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 blah. But yeah, so it's just crazy that it's out of everybody, this one.
Yes, crazy.
What is with these people in these shows? Like, they don't know how to like look outside of the show.
I mean, the whole thing is giving Jesse and Chase like
oh my
the same dynamic.
I need to know your thoughts. Do you think they are playing that up for any sort of content? I've been seeing so many things now where it's like, because at first it was like, whoa, what is going on? And then I've seen theories because, you know, everybody, like, we can't just ever take anything for face value. We always got to look a little deeper. People are saying like, they're trying to like, maybe Jesse and Chase actually did, but it was kind of very intentional, you know, unlike Amanda and Wes, you know, they weren't being intentional, but Jesse and Chase were being intentional of like, okay, let's do something in public to kind of create something, like maybe Miranda's in on it to show that we do have content outside of Taylor and Dakota. Like we can have a show without them.
Yeah.
Like, could you see that in any, like, and why? I don't know.
So
it's a lot.
I tend to be somebody who thinks that people who are famous don't do many things accidentally, or at least if things stay in the news cycle, that's not accidental. Because if you have a huge publicity team, PR team, you can squash things, you can amplify things. So where there's smoke, there's fire with stuff like that to me. And I think especially the Mormon wives, like they are so thirsty and they never stop filming. And now they've stopped filming. Yeah. So I don't think that necessarily like the makeout was planned for press, just because I don't think that Jessie would be down for that in this like really vulnerable moment of her life, where especially right after the Call Her Daddy interview where she's kind of on top of the world.
Yeah. I was like, why now? Why?
But I think I could see, and this is kind of like where I fall with a lot of stuff like this, is like it happened for real, but the drama that ensues around it is blown up for the publicity. Because I mean, I could see Miranda being hurt by that, but I could also see Miranda being like, I don't care. He's my ex and whatever. Yeah. And then maybe the drama, they are like, we need to get the cameras back up. So let's fuel anything we can. I could see that for sure.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense because I don't know if you've seen anything like, you know, the girl Shania?
Yes.
Okay. So I don't know if you've seen anything that's like come out, but because I don't know, I guess maybe unless I missed it, but there was never anything that was like publicly shown until now of apparently Shania had a threesome with Chase and this girl Julie, who, okay, let me try to do the diagram. This girl Julie was dating somebody, his name's Crew, who was Dakota's roommate. And then they broke up. So Julie and then Shania had a threesome with Chase. And like I checked, Miranda's not following Shania anymore. Cause as you know, we saw like the end of season 4, like she's like, girl, like, I don't know, like don't need it. You know, like she was like, that's my friend, whatever. She's not making the right decisions. But you know, she's doing like, but I don't remember seeing anything like Miranda making any sort of TikTok or post, you know, cause obviously if that happened to Taylor, which it did, like immediately is going to take it to, so it's just kind of interesting that with this Jessie situation, like, you know, she made a TikTok. So I'm just kind of like, okay, like maybe they're like, okay, let's amplify this. But I don't know. Like I can't keep up with it. It's so much. My head is just constantly turning every time I open up my phone.
I feel like the craziest thing, we need like a whiteboard so we can map out all of these people and their connections because they're all so interconnected. I feel like, I'm from a really small town. Like there are no people in my town. This is worse than that. Like it's crazy. But the craziest part about this show to me is that they don't have any breaks. Like there is hardly anything that unfolds without cameras on them. Like these people just have this much drama consistently happening year round in their lives that the cameras can follow them around essentially 24/7 and be able to make TV out of that. That's actually crazy when you think about it.
It's so insane. And I actually was having this conversation not too long ago about how I get so confused on the timeline of them because like you said, they don't ever stop filming because season 4, I was like, okay, how many episodes are there going to be? I went to IMDb. I'm a huge IMDber. I love that app. It's like my favorite thing. And you can see, and they did the same thing with season 2/3. It was like, it showed 20 episodes, but the first 10, it showed just like that same release date. So I was like, that's weird. Like it didn't show that it was broken out, but obviously like they know like there's going to be so much. So it's like, they just have to find a breaking point on when they can just be like, all right, we'll still film, but we'll say that for the following season. Obviously, they had this opportunity with Taylor going to the Bachelorette, they'll be okay, that's a good kind of like breaking point. But what's confusing, it's like these people are still friends in their day to day. Like that's never, like that was before the show and it's still now. So it's like things are constantly evolving and everybody's just trying to pick up the pieces, because it's like 1 second you think Whitney and Michaela hate each other, and then now they're like liking and commenting, or like you see Demi comment things on Taylor's, and you're like, wait a second, were they just not? And everything is constantly unfolding, and then you're having to kind of wait to see more of the behind the scenes with the season. But now we won't even get that, which is kind of frustrating. And then the reunion, which that's my biggest gripe. I've said this a million times and I'll say it again. I can't stand when they have the reunion and it's like, oh, well, we can't talk about that because that's going to be on the following season. It's like, then why are we having this reunion? We can't even talk about it. They're just constantly filming.
Yes, that's my biggest gripe with the way that they never stop filming also, because the point of a reunion, I understand they want to get as much content out of the season as possible, but if this is your approach to filming, you don't need a reunion because it's just like an ongoing live feed.
Exactly.
The point of a reunion is to unpack this season. And then that's the end. Not, but we're seeing like the reunion being filmed halfway through this season. So it's like this weird, like you said, it's confusing about the timeline.
Yeah.
Especially when you're also watching them in real time on social media because they're always posting. It's like, it's a lot.
Exactly. Yeah. Have access to them through all these different medias, and it's so confused. Kind of like, I remember specifically like Whitney being at, I can't even remember what the event was. I think it was not season 4, but the season before. What was it? It was like some festival where they all got this house. I can't even remember.
It was like
maybe it was
Stagecoach or something.
Yeah, Stagecoach.
Yeah, and they were in together.
Whitney was there filming content, but it was like in real time. You're seeing her pop up on TikTok like at the same house, and everybody's commenting like, "Oh, Whitney must be good with the girls." Like, she's at the house with all of them. Right. And then we're seeing it on the show. She's like, she basically just walks right in. It's like, all right, I got to do some content, whatever. Like no one's really talking to her. But yeah, you're just like, oh, like you're just seeing everything unfold. You may not get the full answers until the show, or same with the whole Taylor and Shania thing. Like I will never forget when Taylor dropped that TikTok and she's like, oh, this snake in the middle sleeping with my baby daddy. And I was like, whoa, what's going on? And so then we have to, and I'm like, oh, now I'm seeing all of this unfold, like the story. It's like they don't stop, which, I mean, selfishly, I appreciate, but it gets so confusing. And now I just don't even know what happens.
Will MillennialTok survive this?
I don't know. This is, like Jesse said, this is now the most appropriate time to ask that question, because truly, I have no idea. And it really makes me sad. And it's just funny to not obviously like the whole situation, Taylor, Dakota, like we know like that's super heavy, but it's just like any other show, cameras would be picked up immediately. I mean, when you think about Vanderpump and the whole Scandival situation, they were done filming. That was done. Soon as the whole Scandival thing, cameras were up immediately, mics on. Everybody was like, we're watching this all unfold because this has to be shown as this is happening. So it's so sad that we're missing all of these things. And I almost wonder, is this a good opportunity for like more things for them to come out? Because it's like, oh, we don't really necessarily have to address the nitty gritty. Like we could have some drama to create buzz, but now there's no camera. So it's like, we don't have to kind of fully face it. I don't know. They're businesswomen.
Yeah, they're businesswomen and this is their business. I do think that there's a path for them to resume the show. I mean, Jessie kind of mentioned this on Call Her Daddy, where she was like, we wanted to pause at first because we didn't know how to handle it. Like we were processing it in real time. We didn't also want to process it with the country watching us or, the world watching us, the audience. But now, like, they are separate people from Taylor. They can continue the show without Taylor and Dakota. Sure. And I think they should. I think there's a lot going on right now. We can watch Jessie and Jordan navigate this divorce, and we can watch Miranda and Jesse fight over Chase and Shania and whoever have, you know what I mean? Like there's so
Right.
much other stuff we can watch.
Yeah, exactly.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they pick filming back up. I think this is obviously, I don't know anything. This is just my speculation. I feel like it's probably at this point more like Hulu wanting to be cautious of public perception. Like, is it insensitive if we start filming again too soon? Or, it could be something as boring and nitty gritty as like contract negotiations. Like if Taylor is like, if they can film without her, I don't know.
Oh,
Could be something
wow.
like
Yeah.
that.
I guess that's true. Like probably so much more layered than what we even think. And I'm also confused too because Jen's, moved to
Right.
so, and there was confirmation that there's like some spinoff going. So it's
I
like,
forgot about that. There's so much going on. I
Yeah.
literally forgot that they announced that there's going to be a spinoff.
yeah. And so I'm like, what? Like, so does that basically mean like the other girls that's done for them? Or
Yeah.
is there a world in which there's two different types? I don't even know what they would call this other one because it was weird. It was like spinoff of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, but it's not necessarily Mormon Wives. And it's in Orange County. So I'm just kind of like, okay, so is it just like a completely different is it even a spinoff if it's just because Jen's going over there? I don't even know. So I'm just like, what does that mean for the other girls? There's so much. And unfortunately, I'm just so invested.
I know.
I
Me
just
too.
want to know.
I want to know. I'm surprised. And there is another thing I really like about that show is that they're very open. They break the fourth wall. And I know this is like a no-no on reality TV. I love when they break the fourth wall.
Yes.
They've done it a handful of times on Bravo. And I always think it adds such a interesting and important perspective layer to the story. Like it's happened a couple times on Summer House. Like I think there was a moment last year when Paige was kind of grappling with her relationship with Craig and she was talking to the girls and she was like, I'm just nervous about what happens when this airs. And it's like, that's an important context for us as an audience to have to understand why you're having panic attacks about your boyfriend who's not there. But Mormon Wives does this a lot more. Like they acknowledge that they're on the show. They acknowledge that some of the drama is about the show, about contract negotiations, about the fact that, now I wouldn't be surprised if it's about the fact that Taylor is putting their livelihoods in jeopardy with her behavior. And I feel like that right there is like an interesting piece that we could watch.
Oh, for sure.
I don't know. I too, I'm like so interested in what's going on. And because they are usually like more open about that stuff, I'm kind of surprised that we're not getting more information. You know what I mean? They seem to be so like wanting to talk about everything. I'm surprised we're not getting at least like hints.
Just a little, like maybe an Easter egg. I think, it has to just be something, I guess, with legal, like that has to be the only thing that I can think about is because otherwise everything else, they would just be so open and forthcoming. And I'm sure since it's such a sensitive thing, not their personal thing, they don't want to say the wrong thing.
Right.
They don't want to, I don't know, but I just hope at some point we get some sort of, I don't know, just something. Cause it's like, I feel like they would I don't know. Cause we don't even know if they're going to pick back up, if it's ever going to be officially canceled. Are those episodes going to even air?
Right.
Are they going to just be like, all right, this is the final thing, like Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is no longer? I don't know. I've even heard speculation that Alex Cooper, like her network, is trying to maybe negotiate to pick it up because I've seen like a conspiracy theory, like there's been so much intertwined. Like when you think about it, it's another whiteboard situation. It's like, Alex Cooper, Harry Jowsey, he's in the Unwell Network. He was in Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, whatever. And then you take like also on Hulu, she has her Love Overboard show. And then I don't know if you saw this, but yesterday she just released the Winter Games thing.
I couldn't even like go into that, but I saw it in passing.
Yeah. And then you had, and people that were on there is Demi and Dakota, there's these things that are intertwined. So people are like, huh, like, is that maybe something that's could be why it's taking a little bit longer. Obviously Jesse was just on Call Her Daddy. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. There's just so much. And I'm starving for more information. And I'm just wondering, like, what's the day that I'm going to wake up and be like, I don't care anymore. Because unfortunately,
yeah. And I think that's another thing too, is they need to make a move soon and announce something or make some sort of decision, because the attention span is so short with people now. Things move so fast. Last week, all the news was on the Mormon Wives. This week, it's all Summer House. I haven't seen anybody talk about Mormon Wives because Summer House has overtaken it.
Yeah.
Who knows what's going to happen next week? So we need to jump on this
for sure
and tell us something so that we can have something to get excited about. Yeah, even if it's just like we're picking cameras back up for something. Give us something.
Yep. Just a little bit. Speaking of reality TV, Valley starts this week, right?
Oh my God, it does. I think you're right. It does.
Tomorrow, or Wednesday, April 1st. Yeah.
That's tomorrow.
Gosh. That is tomorrow. I am really excited. I'm excited to see Lala. I don't know how you feel about her, but like, I just feel, and she was one of the ones that broke that fourth wall with the whole Scandival thing, on the reunion. She's like, this is our livelihood. Like, you not wanting to film, like, that affects us all.
I thought that was so bizarre that they got like really mad at her for that. I understand that's probably in their contract that they're not allowed to do that. But again, as a viewer, that is interesting to me. And also, I mean, I go back and forth with Lala. I don't really like her, but when Lala's right, she's right. And that is valid. This is their livelihood. If you're acting that way and you won't film or you won't whatever, you're impacting not just yourself, but all of us. I love that kind of stuff. I think it's so interesting.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, because it's like, let's not pretend here. Let's not pretend that we're not filming a show and we're getting paid and like there's an audience. Like, everybody knows, like, we're sitting, like, we know, like, this isn't scripted. Like, they have to have something to film and go off of. But yeah, so I'm just very interested to see how she does on the Valley. I know that there were so many mixed reviews on people looking forward to having her on there, looking forward to not. I feel like, I mean, there was a lot of drama just with that show. I mean, the whole Jackson, Brittany of it all. But I feel like her and Tom Schwartz will bring a little bit Vanderpump nostalgia. There's that word again.
For sure.
To the show. And I mean, again, she's not one to keep her mouth shut. So, I mean, she'll keep things interesting. Like, she knows what makes great television. And for that, I will always, can appreciate you for, it's like, if you can keep my interest and make uncomfortable conversation with people that don't want to dive into things, and you can do that, then absolutely, I think you should be. I think you should be on the show.
And this is my thing. I always say this, and people are like, I don't like her or whatever. Like, good people are not good reality stars. You need people who are like messy and not self-aware and immature. It's not going to be fun to watch a bunch of emotionally regulated, mature adults live their lives.
Thank you. I've been saying that when people talk about like the villains of shows, it's like, sure, it's probably annoying and irritating just to like see them. But it's like, imagine, like, here's a great example. And I'm pretty sure they returned on this season. Correct me if I'm wrong. Nia and her husband, Jace. Is it Jason? Wait, what's her?
Yeah, Jason.
I can't. Okay. Nia.
I'm pushing myself. Yeah.
I think so.
I can picture him. The little one.
That's Janet's husband. No, it's Jason.
Janet and Jason, Nia and
I think it's Jason. I can't remember. Whatever Nia's husband's name is. I'm pretty sure it's
wears
Jason.
Really tight pants.
Yes, really tight pants and Nia. Like, they, she doesn't want to talk about anything. Like, she just seems very like mellow. Someone's yelling at her like, you need to be more whatever. And she's just like, okay. Like, she's very like not going to let that get to me. Imagine if we had a whole cast with that personality. What would we be watching?
Yeah, nothing.
No.
You need Kristen Doute, and
oh God,
like on Summer House, you have Lindsay Hubbard that will flip a switch on a dime, and Lala's great for that. And Lala, I mean, like I said, I go back and forth on, like, sometimes I cannot stand her. Sometimes I've gotten to the point where I'm like, I can't watch her anymore. She does bring the drama. And this
for sure
cast is not Vanderpump. Everybody on Vanderpump was dialed up to 100. This cast, like, the whole point of it is that they're like old and parents and they live in the valley. Like, you need somebody who has that immature energy to come in and like shake things up. And then Tom Schwartz will just be in the corner like a puppy dog, being Schwartz.
Yeah, Schwartz, gotta love him. And it just dawned on me, okay, Nia's husband is Daniel.
Yes, you're right.
So it's Janet and Jason and then Nia and Daniel. But but that's so funny that you say Kristen Doute. I need to know your thoughts. Like, after like her being on the Valley, I had a total 180.
Same
on her.
Well, no, I was always a Kristen Doute apologist.
You were? Not gonna lie. I wasn't.
My most controversial take is still probably that I can't fully get behind Ariana because of the early days of Vanderpump Rules, because Kristen was right all along.
Yes.
Ariana was the other woman. Sandoval cheated on Ariana with Miami Girl. Ariana knew. Kristen Kristen was being crazy Kristen. She wasn't trying to like help out a girl. She was trying to take down a man. But you know what? When that man is Sandoval, I respect it.
Absolutely.
She was right about everybody. So I just always loved her because she was so chaotic on Vanderpump, and she was so, she talk about someone with zero self-awareness. She would do anything on camera, like craziest meltdowns. But I am enjoying watching her kind of mature and like actually seem happy on the Valley.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Versus
it's
being
sweet.
Crazy Kristen, because yeah.
No, it is funny. So to your point of that, like, I never did not like her. I think I was just more, the whole thing between her and Stassi. So I just was like, like, Stassi's my girl. Like, that's my queen. So that's where I was kind of like, dang it. Like, why did she do that? But I mean, you're so right. And it's just funny, like, just looking back on everything, everybody was like, oh, crazy Kristen. It's like, yeah, maybe she went about it really crazy, but can you blame her? Like, having that situation and having no one believe you, or like everybody tell you you're wrong, like, you just start to spiral. And
also,
I'll never forget this scene. Oh gosh, James. Yeah.
I forgot about James. Like, she was right about James too.
Right about James. Like, honestly, she was clocking all of it. She just was so crazy with it. Kristen, that everybody was like,
would
okay.
Like clock something and like have a correct take about somebody who was really bad, but then she would turn around and do something really bad. So it's like, Kristen, it's like, I'm trying to root for you here, but like, you can't be doing that.
Yeah, it's like, now your point that was correct is null and void because the way you did it. I mean, nothing will beat the scene when she goes to Sir and she's yelling at Lisa, lighting up that cigarette with my
That's one of my favorite scenes in all of Vanderpump history, actually, is when she's like drunk on the Sir patio yelling at the assistant manager, whoever it was, Diana, and she's smoking the cigarette. So funny.
So good. It's so good. I've actually had to, when we've gone to LA a couple of times, I make my husband, I'm like, drive by Sir, drive by that back lot. I need to just look. I need to be like, so many memories that I didn't physically happen here for me, but watching, I'm like soaking it all in. All the fights. It's so good.
Gotta go have a pumptini at the bar. They show episode. Have you been inside, Sir?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But I've only been, it was like a brunch time. So it's like, it wasn't like super vibey, but I don't know. I mean, do people go still?
No.
Like, yeah.
I don't think so. I drive by that area a lot. It doesn't seem busy. It just like looks really run down.
It's so sad.
I've actually only been inside once, and I sat at the bar and I had a drink, and they were showing old episodes of Vanderpump Rules like on the TVs at the bar, and I was like, honestly, like, as a Vanderpump fan, yes, I'm fully on board for this.
Yeah,
but this is so not a classy establishment. Like,
it's very a touristy spot now at this point.
Yeah,
and it's like, you're not, I mean, I had the goat cheese balls that, Stassi always talked about, which I thought were so great, but I'm sure I could probably find that somewhere else too if they had it. But like, Yeah, you're definitely like, if you're going, it's definitely people for like bachelorette, some touristy spot, take the picture. So I can definitely appreciate, I think it's very appropriate for them to have Vanderpump playing on the TVs. Like they just need to have that just constant out of loop. That's genius marketing, I suppose. As long as they can keep people going. I mean, there hasn't been any talks of that closing, right? Because I know almost every other.
Yeah, not Sir. TomTom is now up for sale.
Oh gosh. Okay.
I don't really know. I actually haven't looked more into what that means. I just saw like a post from some LA news thing that said it was up for sale. I don't know if it's the actual building that's for sale or if the business is for sale or both, but it didn't say they were closing. It just said for sale. So I should actually follow up on that, find out.
Okay. Yeah. And you'll have to let me know.
I will.
Because we go to LA pretty frequently. So I'll have to maybe just like take a peek. Just do a little memory of that.
Yeah. Pay your respects to Tom.
Exactly. Pay my respects. They built us. But okay. So I have a little game for us to play before we kind of like wrap up, because this has been so fun. I could talk about reality TV with you all day. Seriously. It's so fun. But it's called Chic or Week. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of rapid fire, just some topics, whatever. And you're going to give your opinion if you think it's chic or weak. And you can feel free to expand on that or not. But yeah. All right. So we'll play Chic or Weak.
Say it loud now, is it chic or weak?
All right. The first one is taking pics on a digital camera instead of phones.
I think that's chic. I love anything that gets us like off our phones for a minute.
No, I totally agree. And honestly, I've seen people now with the digital cameras and like I look at that picture, I'm like, wait, why does that look so much better?
I know. I even think that about old iPhone photos sometimes. Yeah. I don't need to see every pore on my face.
No.
Real life doesn't look like that. I don't need that in a photo.
No. And I've seen like I've gone back and looked at just old actual pictures that I like printed out, like, you know, with film and everything. And I was like, wait, why do everybody kind of looks really good? Like, that's kind of crazy.
It's more appealing to the eye for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. So I might have to get a digital camera at some point. But yeah, no, I totally agree. Juicy couture velour tracksuits.
I mean, not literally chic, but I have to say chic.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love a juicy tracksuit.
For sure. Getting a burned mix CD as a gift.
Oh my God, that's so chic. That's like a personal.
Yeah.
You know,
I know.
Thought that goes into that.
But I don't even know if my car has a thing for CDs anymore.
Nothing does anymore. It's really sad.
Gosh, that's so weird.
I guess the equivalent is like making somebody a playlist and sending them the link.
Yeah, that is true. Okay, this one I wrote in, just given everything. Amanda Petula.
I mean, a week ago I would have said so chic, but now, girl, weak.
Yeah.
So sad.
Yeah, I know. Tabloid magazines.
You know, I'm going to go weak. I lived through the 2000s and all they did was terrorize women. So
yeah,
no.
There wasn't a single positive thing. I think you could, like, the main headline and all the sub articles, everything was just tearing everybody down. No one was safe.
Things. Now when I look back, I'm like, oh my God, they were so mean.
So mean. So mean. It's so bad.
Poor girl.
I know. Like when I see like videos of, oh my gosh, look at this magazine from like 2000 and seeing that, I'm like, oh my God. And what's crazy about it, when I think about it, I never thought twice about it when in real time.
Right.
You know?
I know.
It's so weird. Now it would be like, what?
I know.
Like so-and-so gained 25 pounds. Okay. I don't know. It's kind of crazy.
Everywhere. It was everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's normal to us.
So normal. All right. The last one. Ugg boots with mini skirts.
Chic. I don't care. I will always love that.
It's a staple.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, thank you so much for playing. I've had so much fun with you. It's been great. I just need to know, like, is there anything that you want to plug, any upcoming projects or anything that you want listeners, followers to know? Anything that's going on?
Honestly, I wish I had more to report. I don't have anything exciting going on right now. I do have a podcast that's called Talks in Class. It's kind of been on a hiatus for a while. But I'm just dropping episodes kind of at random right now, but there's a ton of old banked content. So if anybody's interested, I do deep dives on like everything. There's Juicy Couture, Paris Hilton, Olsen Twins. There's so many episodes. And it's far off, but look for another MillennialTok trip. It'll be next year, but time flies. So be watching for that.
Oh, we definitely will. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. Like I said, I've had so much fun with you. There was so much to talk about, and there's so much more to talk about. So, I mean, who knows? In the future, we'll probably have to have another debrief on everything that's going on, and we can just talk reality TV. But like I said, I've had so much fun, and I am just looking forward to all the future content that you have to give us, because we're starving for it. I'll always be starving for it, just so you know. So
I'm happy to hear it. Thank you so much. This was so much fun.